Hey there, fellow traveler. We're going to drop right in for a next 72-hour portal report here. And though these themes start to introduce themselves over the next 72 hours, as you know, what comes in here is just an introduction of this energy frequency. These messages do play out over time, and when they do come back around the bend, I usually repost them to let you know to tune back in, because there's a thread that's picking up in the current storyline. It happens quite often, as you will see. Those of you who have been here for a while know all about that. But we're going to drop right in. It is the 23rd. Mercury is direct today, but we got Saturn going retrograde, and we covered that energy last week. So we know that there's some stiff lessons coming around the bend here where they are needed. All right, so mind your P's and Q's, and if you've been following the good red road, keep the good work up so you can avoid any kind of missteps at this time, because Saturn certainly will hold you accountable. All right, very important. Don't try to take shortcuts. Don't try to pull any funny business in order to achieve your aims, or try to tear somebody else down to get yourself a leg up, or you will experience a major rebuff from Father Time there, who's been keeping a chronicle of events, the way things have been rolling out. I was drawn to open up here with the angels and imps, so I know it's a mixed bag as we start to come out of that dreamy sort of Neptunian, illusory, glamour-soaked atmosphere that was this Mercury retrograde. But we also have a lot of progressive energy starting to come in. Okay, we're not going to be out of Mercury retrograde post-shadow until around the 6th. It will come in with clarity before we arrive at the new moon in Leo. Okay, but yeah, just be aware of that. Okay, let things kind of crystallize. All right, right now there's still a little bit hazy, but you should start to have more clarity about your surroundings, what's going on, and your next moves as we progress up to the 6th of August, right before that Lion's Gate, okay, on the 8th. So let's dive in and see what's coming on through for the collective over the next 72 hours. Bottom of the deck, we got the 5 of Cups coming in here. Maybe there's something that you were integrating, processing, having a look at while you were in your hibernation phase with this particular Mercury retrograde that we just moved through. You might be just starting to get moving again, ready to kind of take those first steps back into life after that time of turning within and going over old ground. You may feel still like you're kind of a little hazy though, like you're sleepwalking a little bit. Moving forward here, I do feel like you're going to start to have some people that are good familiars, people that are friends to you, people who are in your corner. I'm hearing even people who have silently backed you that you weren't aware of starting to filter in here. They've been away for a while. Maybe they needed to get some clarity about who you really were, because there were a lot of false narratives being spun around you. I feel like you got some people coming in here that really are letting you know that they got your back. So this is good energy. Expect some reconciliation with friends. They might fill you in on where you have certain gaps in information. They might let you know what's been happening behind the scenes, what you weren't able to see, okay? And I do feel like these people are here to help you set something right, right? Help you set something right where they feel like you were wronged, all right? And this could be in relation to your work affairs. Grizzly Bear is connected with Virgo on the medicine wheel, so that makes me think of that energy of work, daily routine, habits, okay? There's something here that could have really impacted your day-to-day life. There's something here that really could have thrown you out of your element, your usual daily routine. There's something that could have negatively impacted your work because of something that was going on behind the scenes that you were not aware of. And there's people here who have been paying attention, and they want to give you a heads up about this. Could even be a Virgo that is approaching you. It's possible. Okay, so let's get some more details. Coming through here, what do we need to know about the next 72 hours? What say ye, fates? What elements are in play over these next 72 hours? Yeah, this is very interesting. So I do feel like there's been some issues here for sure, all right? And there's also been a key relationship that has experienced some kind of frisson here. And I do feel like that was the aim of some drama that was stirred about, maybe to really drive a wedge between you and another that you're really meant to partner with here on some level. But I feel like where you have experienced some kind of anger that's been pent up for some time because you may have been navigating something solo, that's about to be quelled here. I do feel that somebody here feels a little bit guilty for getting roped into a situation, maybe a situation that pitted them against you. They want to try to resolve this, okay? They're hoping that they can work things out, get things back on an even playing field here. This feels like somebody that wants to balance things out with you with the Six of Pentacles. And they want to help you out in some way. And I think they're trying to let you know that they really do have your back, but maybe it took a while for them to sort through everything they were hearing. And it might have created some destabilization for this individual as well. We got the World on the scene, which lets me know that a particular karmic cycle has been completed during this Mercury retrograde. If you're not aware of it yet, you will become more aware of it. It will really become solidified for you by the 6th when we're out of that post shadow. You're going to have a look around. You're really going to recognize, oh, I'm not there anymore. Everything's changed. Everything's different. I don't even feel the same energy signature is operating anymore. And it's true. You've really turned a corner. So whatever you were going through back there, it's not coming back around the bend again. And anybody that you are reconciling with, these are people that are meant to come in because you're building the future together. And there's a cord there. There's not going to be any doubts. They came in with the energy of 7-11. So you'll know it. There won't be any confusion on your part around this. It will feel like total alignment. You'll have no questions about moving forward with these people. And for you, these could be people that have been kind of like weaving in and out while you've been going through a lot of tough transformational territory. So these are people that didn't just like totally abandon ship. They didn't just totally turn their back on you. These are people that may have been a little bit confused, may have been navigating their own challenges too. We have to always remember that even when we're going through difficulties in our lives, that we're not the only ones, you know, rocking and rolling. Everybody's going through a lot of changes right now. 8:08 on the clock, okay? All I know is whatever this is, whoever is coming in and is reconciling with you, these are people that you know are part of your path moving forward. There's no question about it, okay? So if you're already starting to get this sense come up in you as I'm talking about this, where you're feeling nervous or like, no, I don't think I want to let that person in, it's not that person, okay? It's really simple. This is something that's going to feel like, absolutely, I'm so glad to hear from you. Let's get this ball rolling here. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, let's get this ball rolling. Brand new world view. You're seeing possibilities much differently, especially as you reconnect with these people. It's got that vibe like the world is your oyster. There may be a significant trip in the offing, or this may be something you start to talk about. You start thinking about distant horizons, what could be possible. This is a successful cycle that you're going to be opening up to, and it's only going to quicken as we start to head into the fall. Now that we're on the other side of Mercury retrograde and we've got the direct energy moving forward, things can really start to get cooking here. Again, it's going to take a little time, just until the 6th. To gain that momentum as you start to get reacclimated to what's going down right now. But once we hit that point, when we're out of the post shadow, it's going to be 8 weeks of steady progress. You will see. Okay? You gained a lot of hard-earned lessons as you've moved through this territory. I think there's been a lot of integration during Mercury retrograde. You know what you are completely done with. You're not going back to that. You're not going to revive that. Okay, so anything like that that's coming up for you as I'm talking about this reconciliation, it ain't that. You just gotta remember that, okay? And I do feel like there's some new venture coming in here, and it could have something to do with this person that is reconciling with you, that is going to get launched. And with the world, we do have all the fixed sign energies that could be in play. We got Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo. We also have Capricorn there, okay? So pretty positive energy, baseline energy. Page of Pentacles, and I think this is what you're hearing about. You're getting news from somebody about the way somebody really kind of led people forward on a wild goose chase, you could say. I do feel like there was sort of a seductive quality in the way people were deceived to follow their lead in regard to this situation. It does have Pied Piper kind of energy. I'm hearing 3 blind mice, okay? So these are people who were blind to the details. They were not really understanding what was at work here, but those details are going to start to become more clear as we move out of the haze. And once they see this, I feel like a certain spell that they were under is really going to lose its hold. It's like waking up out of a dream and realizing you got yourself in somewhat of a nightmare here. There does feel like there's been some kind of deception, some kind of manipulation in this situation. But through this, you are discovering who is truly loyal to you, who truly has allegiance with you. These are good allies, and there's reconciliation with key friendships coming in here. 11:44 on the clock. So I'm telling you, there's not going to be any doubt about this. These people that you're reconciling with, they are here to build the future forward with you. All right. 11:55 on the clock. It might surprise you the way the wheel of fortune is turning, but there's a lot of justice energy on the scene in relation to this. Things are starting to balance out. Where you had some holdover stuff, where you feel like there was leftover business that needed to be attended to, I feel like you did what you had to do to close that up during this Mercury retrograde cycle. And anything that's been left unattended, that you still have doubts about, I'm hearing there's nothing to balance out. Your balance has been paid in full, okay? So don't delude yourself into getting stuck in an old cycle because you think there's still something you need to attend to. I'm hearing your work is complete. With the world on the scene, that is a sign of completion in this situation. King of Pentacles energy coming in here. That is the facts. You're standing on business here. All right. And there's new harmony and peace coming into view. And like I said, there's something coming in here. It's landing right in your lap. We'll see what this is in a minute. Okay, there could be a King of Pentacles involved in this situation. This could be somebody that you do business with. This could be somebody who has some kind of business proposal for you. This could even be somebody that seriously wants to make some kind of investment in you as well. This could even be somebody that you used to be romantically involved with, or if you've been having challenges in a relationship, this could be getting on the same page. Maybe the person that you were in a relationship with was dealing with somebody who was trying to lead them astray and they got a little confused for a while. Maybe this person was really convincing, but I do feel like there's peace and harmony being restored here. And there is some indication here that you've been pretty angry. Like something's had you PO'd, man. And whatever this is, however this comes in and whatever's being presented, I do feel like somebody's like letting down their shield. They're putting their guards down a little bit. They might be communicating something to you with candor that you've never experienced from this individual before. But I think they're really filling you in and they're letting you know, look, you know, I'm loyal to you. You can count on me. I think they can really back it up. I don't think you're doubting this whatsoever. And whatever you're learning here and whatever you iron out with each other, I feel like it puts you in a position where once you were angry, you're now able to finally like let that go. I feel like something that was really foggy is made clear with whatever this is. Ooh, there could have been a Queen of Wands in the mix that doesn't want to be exposed here, coming out in the reverse. it's almost giving me the impression that this King of Pentacles is delivering this person right into your lap. Like they're saying, look, this is what's been going on. Because at one point, they might have been even protecting this character. This character may have been cloaked. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, this could be somebody who was operating as a manipulator, a third-party influence in the situation, maybe was trying to seduce somebody, maybe was trying to work with their wiles in that way to draw somebody in another direction. This could have even been somebody in the case where you were dealing with challenges in your relationship who tried to spin some BS like you were stepping out on your relationship or you weren't to be trusted. Maybe tried to cast you into some role as being some promiscuous vixen, I'm hearing, okay? And for those of you that are alchemists, this could even be somebody who was working some juju in this regard, maybe on this King of Pentacles here, okay? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person's been taken out of a position of power. Normally upright, this is divine power. In reverse, this is working for the dark side, okay? This person works for the dark side. And where they were getting away with something for a while, I feel like this person's really good at manipulation. They're not guarded against those mental troubles now. So there is something about somebody here could be starting to lose their grip. They could be coming undone because they know that game over here, okay? Somebody's calling them out and somebody's putting you in the loop. They're no longer concealed. They were well hidden for a while. You may be surprised who this was when it is revealed. All right. Shadow energy just flipped into reverse here. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It took a long time for this information to get to you. I feel like this energy had you anchored for quite a while. It was really holding you back. There was a lot of deception at play. It was hard for you to see through what was going on. This person could be an herbalist, right? They like to work with herbs and different kinds of brews and things they like to mix together, you know. They may even do something in relation to cooking, all right? As far as those who do work with the magical arts, I do feel like that's more their kind of track that they like to work with here. I think that they also had some people who were in connection with you. I'm seeing the spider crawl on the web outside here, okay? Yeah, I mean, this is somebody who is orchestrating something. I feel that very strongly. They did work with a network of people and perhaps people that you are connected to as well. Maybe at one point you distanced yourself from somebody. They sent people in that they knew were familiar with you to get information about what was up with you. I do feel like because of the way they were able to work these people, they did fall right in line with this, but these people are starting to rebel against this Queen of Wands in reverse. And now where something was really slowed down, in some ways they were trying to bog you down or slow you down or prevent you from moving forward, all right? Give me more details about this. Why were they trying to slow the collective down? I don't think you're slowed down anymore. I feel like you freed yourself from this albatross, whatever this was, and now you're getting messages coming in to confirm that you're finally on the other side of this challenging influence, and you're getting the truth. And once you got that truth, it really gives you that ability to use that sort of metaphorical hammer of Thor to like make a judgment and bring down the lightning. I feel it's a tower of power and it's in your hands, crossing energy. Yeah, this was somebody who's trying to affect your work. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And my Eight of Pentacles card, especially when it comes out in reverse in relation to these other indicators here, is often somebody who is trying to do some kind of manipulation, okay? Certainly with the Queen of Wands in reverse, it could be somebody who is up to some spiritual warfare. But it could also be somebody who's just really trying to work people, manipulate people, and whatever was holding you back in your work, this is what is turning around. Somebody could have stolen something that is actually your intellectual property. Somebody could have stolen an idea of yours, or they could have taken credit for something that you created. This is also being revealed to you. You might want to take some action in relation to that. Okay, give me some more details. It looks like they were trying to prevent you from having some kind of forward progression in your work. They could have even tried to block some kind of promotion or badmouthed you to potential clients, something like this. Bottom of the deck energy, the hangman. Judgment being called. This person's now in the hanged man position, okay? They're going to have to ride this one out. They still have desire for knowledge about what's going on with you. They really want to know because, see, they have their eyes set on something. Ooh, that just fell away. I'll have to check out what that is. They still have their eyes set on something. This person's very stubborn, whoever they are. There's something they want. High Priestess, okay? This is the snake that's been hiding from you. Page of Swords, okay? This person's still hanging out here. They don't realize that their ego is really going to get them in trouble here with the Eight of Swords. This person's about to get caught up. All right? So, they could have been working with temptation. I think they are very slick in the way they were able to work people. They were able to transform some of your connections to question you, to look at you like, can I trust you? Okay? I think that's really what happened here. There was a lot of mistrust that was courted here. But you got a brand new beginning here, Ace of Pentacles. It's being presented with you. And I also feel like you're earning a little mojo bag here, a little special magic that you hold because you successfully jumped through those hoops. I think this is really going to be confirmed for you by the time you arrive at the Aquarius full moon on the 29th. We're now in the week lead up to that, 22 on the clock. There's some kind of alignment that happens there, probably with another person, and this information coming in that puts you in a position of power. It gives you some kind of strength so you can actually achieve your desires with the Nine of Cups, something that's been held up for you for quite some time, and you're going to find out who was holding you up here, okay? We do have strong Pisces energy coming out with both the High Priestess and the Hanged Man. 12th house energy. This is also that very Neptunian energy. And it absolutely could be a situation where you are looking at the illumination of a blind spot and perhaps a hidden enemy, somebody you didn't really know was working against you in this situation. But you passed this, okay? You successfully navigated some tests that were put before you by a trickster. As a result, puts you in a position of worldly power. There's some treasure that you are acquiring here, and you may be surprised how quickly you progress over the next 8 weeks once we're on the other side of that retrograde shadow. Yeah, 3 of Wands. I mean, this is that flying monkey energy. Somebody was able to hold something back for quite some time for you, but they aren't able to do that much longer. And it does look like whoever this person is, they probably did work with seduction on some level. There was a little bit of this manipulation. They might have tried to play to somebody's vanity or their ego. They stroked their ego in all the ways you were not willing to accommodate. That's what I'm hearing here. And I believe they did that so they could get information from this person. I mean, they might have pumped this person for information, quite literally. Read between the lines, okay? But it's sort of like somebody here was sleeping with the enemy, working with the enemy. They didn't realize in teaming up with this person, they were also creating harm for themselves. Now, something fell down here. Let me have a look at what this is. Yeah, 10 of Wands, your burdens are gone. Please tune in, pay attention. This has been coming out so much recently that you don't recognize. You already went through a certain obstacle course. You are not there anymore, okay? The energy is going to lighten up. You're going to realize that There's something that's really shifted here. You're not going to be in the dark anymore. The heavy lifting is done. Things are about to get easier for you. Do pay attention, because I feel like there's a lot of spiritual communication coming through for you right now that's trying to give you confirmation that you successfully navigated your trials and you made it through some kind of initiation here, and things are really about to take a turn, okay? And where justice does need to come through, I do feel like the burden of proof will be on your side if there's anything you need to navigate in relation to that. Let me get a cut of the deck here, and then we'll go a little bit deeper here. Yeah, King of Swords. Check it out, man. We got victory, okay? Air sign energies coming through. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Once you have the truth, then you got the power in your hands. You can take an action. This does give you that Spear of Lu. That is that quality of being able to bring on the lightning in a very powerful way. This is victory for you. And it also protects you from a tower. So if you were wondering, do I got something brewing for me? No. You took some kind of decisive action. You cut something off. You made a very definitive choice. And I don't think that it was easy to do, but you really just had to trust what you were picking up here. And you didn't doubt yourself. I think you weren't able to really see your way to making this choice until you had to look really deeply at your own motivations. So this does make me feel like this is somebody who's done a lot of shadow work, you know? You had to look at a lot of the stuff that maybe was difficult to look at. You also probably had to look at some cold, hard truth. Whatever you saw here, you knew that if you wanted things to change, there was something you did need to definitively cut off. You may have wondered, was that the right judgment call? You're getting confirmation. So if you did take a step to cut something off, this is your confirmation that this is the thing that's bringing you some kind of victory here. And on the other side, we have Queen of Pentacles, okay? Earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? I do feel like there was some kind of awareness that came through here. You had a moment of lucidity, even in kind of a murky environment. And this is what gave you clarity to do what you needed to do. And now there's some kind of compensation that is coming your way. It has everything to do with you really, truly understanding your worth, knowing your value, and also valuing yourself enough to trust your own take on a situation that is so, so important. This is also that energy that's coming around the bend in relation to the time we had Aries and Chiron. Now it's in Taurus, okay? So that's a different expression of energy, and it's really asking us to be able to act from that place of valuing our own sense of things, valuing our own take of situations, valuing our own truth, and what we feel is right for us. So I feel like you stood on business in regard to this, and so this is bringing about a very favorable outcome, okay? And again, we got balance coming in here. Once again, you may have freed yourself from a particular Chinese finger trap. And when I look at that energy, I think what was holding you in this pattern and keeping you stuck for a while is you may have done quite a bit of finger pointing, or you felt like you needed to blame somebody. And then you realize that was keeping you in gridlock because it kept you really attached to this person, this energy, this situation. And you think about that. It's like for every finger you point at somebody, you got, you know, an innumerable amount of fingers pointing right back at you. So once you realize the trap that is, and the way that it connects your energy and binds your energy to the very thing that you want to disconnect from, and you decide, I'm just going to lay that down, and instead I'm really going to look at myself and figure out what I can do from this point, regardless of what anybody else is doing or how they may be feeling. You took your power back. And because you stopped feeling the need to blame, you really did this total pivot where it was about full accountability. And also radical acceptance and saying, yeah, that sucked, man. And yeah, that may have hurt. And that was real shitty what I went through back there. And I don't appreciate that. But I can't even worry about that anymore because I just got to look at what I got to work with here. What do I need to do? And I feel from that point, you started making some real clear judgment calls, and this is what's lining you up for success. So this is real good energy here. I like to see it. Let's get some more details from the Kipper deck coming in, okay? So this definitely looks like it's tapping more into the general collective energy, not so much the macrocosmic energy, which I really appreciate when we get a break from that, because sometimes it's a little intense tapping into that macrocosmic energy. I know that every now and then I prefer it. We can kind of just look at the general collective and not have to go there. So let's see what's coming in here from the Kipper deck in relation to this, just to give some more confirmation about what is going to be building here now that we're on the other side of Mercury retrograde and we're coming out of the haze. Even though we do have Saturn retrograde, okay, that's when you do have to kind of do the checks and balances as you reconcile with people, as these things start to come into the playing field. You do have to kind of balance that against the work that you've done, the lessons you've learned, and make smart choices here, okay? But it looks like whatever you're aligning with here, you don't have any questions about it. So this looks really good to me, okay? Here's some details. Bottom of the deck, you got a message coming in, a message of importance. This message is your chariot forward, okay? It causes you to move forward in a new way. So there is something shifting here. There's something changing here. There could be a Cancer that you are hearing from. You could be hearing news from a mother as well, okay, that wanted to come out but didn't, okay? That's just a possibility. Seventh house is, again, could be somebody that you were in a relationship, business relationship with, or romantic relationship. Could be an ex of yours that you're hearing from. This could also be an open enemy. Yeah. It could be news in relation to an open enemy. We know whoever this is getting caught up here. But I don't know. It's interesting to me because with open enemy, there may be somebody that you really were aware, like, you're working against me. You're making it very clear. But there might be more the hidden enemy that's coming into view, okay? Because that's sort of what's showing up here with that 12th house energy that introduced itself earlier with this energy getting caught up. That's usually a blind spot. 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. The 7th house of Libra is all about open enemies. I do think you're surprised to hear from somebody, okay? Again, it's coming in with the 7 energy signature. You are kind of pondering this after you hear from this person. There's something you are studying here. This person may present some kind of creative opportunity for you. Wheel of Fortune energy coming in as well. Okay? I think there's something that took a while to get here. Again, I think about something that arrives slowly, right? This doesn't arrive quickly. It's something that takes the long way. We got train energy coming in here, okay? So if you've ever been on a train, you know, it's like forever. You go into this weird liminal space where there is no arrival point. You're just sort of heading through this ambiguous zone, you know? And it does feel like one day just sort of bleeds into the next. So I feel like you've gone through a long passage where you were moving through this kind of territory. You may have gone through a really long, dark tunnel. And somebody is communicating with you. They're sharing their thoughts with you. They might be presenting some opportunity. Could be some kind of creative project. They want to move forward with you on this. And I think that you're going to take a little time. I do feel this. And I think that's smart. I don't think you're going to say yes immediately. I think you're going to say, let me think about this. Let me sit with this a little bit. And I do feel that's wise. Okay. Just so you can be really certain when you do decide to go forward with this, if you do decide to go forward with this. Okay. We got, Aquarian energy out here. Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius, okay? This could be some characters involved. Could be something at a distance. This could be somebody proposing some kind of trip, okay? Maybe want you to meet them. Maybe it's somebody setting up some kind of business opportunity. You'd have to travel a distance in order to take advantage of this opportunity. And I think you're taking a little time to consider this. Do I want to do this? Is this right for me? Okay. Get some more details about this. Got wealthy man in the reverse here. Okay. This could be somebody that's a little down on their luck. They may have been in a much stronger position before, but they might have lost a lot of money in relation to some kind of gamble they took. Something that cost them a great deal financially, legally. Could have been due to a divorce, okay? It's possible because I see the Empress energy here, okay? Somebody could have taken them to the cleaners. This person's a little down on their luck. They're trying to recover. I don't know. They think maybe if they partner with you, maybe you two can like turn something around real quick. They may have a winning idea, but they're lacking the funds to get something off the ground. I don't know, man. There's some interesting energy here with this one, okay? Somebody's in a tight spot. I see somebody used to be in a really good, strong position. Not so much anymore. This person feels like they're held back because they don't have the financial resources they used to have in some kind of way. Lovers on the scene in relation to this, okay? Capricorn energy coming through. Somebody could have lost some kind of assets, okay, in relation to their work. Could have been somebody they were partnering with on a business level too. This could have something to do with like somebody stealing your intellectual property or something like this, you know. And it put them in a compromising situation, okay. That might be why this person's approaching you. They may have gotten duped. They might have partnered with somebody on something that they thought was their intellectual property. It was actually yours, and then they became aware of this. And they know the only way they can get themselves out of a bind maybe is to reveal this truth to you because they don't want to be caught up in this. Lovers. This could be somebody you've been romantically involved with in the past. Whoever this person is, I feel like they are worried about their reputation. Tell me a little bit. I'm going to pull out. I got to pull out something on this. Give me one more detail about this wealthy man. So yes, please take your time. Wealthy man in reverse. What about this wealthy man in reverse? This is coming out in reverse and it landed on thoughts. Journey in reverse. I don't know, man. You might really want to consider if you want to go down this track again. So this is interesting. It could be as you have allies coming in, there could also be somebody here that comes in that tests the waters, that if you do go for this, it could put you back in a tight spot. This person's not in the position they claim to be where they can give you this kind of opportunity. And I do see you have some unexpected income coming your way. All right, cut of the deck. Yeah, distant horizons. Distant horizons, very interesting. High honor. It's like you've already pulled up anchor. Remember that piece? that came in here, you were anchored, but you pulled up anchor. Okay, so you're no longer limited here. And whatever you're moving into here, you moved through some kind of real big conflict. You're moving into a position of high honor. You got safe passage here. You're moving forward, and wherever you're going the distance, man. And there is a crafty character here who could get you held back. So I think where you do have your hackles at, okay, remember to trust your intuition. That's important, because this is what you have to keep in mind. Where the reconciliation is really clear and you have no doubts about it, yes, okay? But where you're like, I don't know, I need to think about that, you really need to pay attention to that. You do need to sit with it. Don't act on anything too quickly, because I do feel like you are about to turn the corner and move into greater expansion, greater reach, right? But it's sort of like one journey has to come to an end so you can move forward toward a new beginning. And I do think you're getting a little bit of grace here. It does feel to me like there's somebody that's going to come in, almost like cutting off this individual at the pass is the sense that I get, to let you know what's up so you can make the correct judgment call and you don't get hung up here. Because I think that is the aim. I'm going to pull out my Shadow Light playing cards here. I want to know about this wealthy man in reverse before we get like kind of an overarching theme and close this out, because this feels like this is really the basic gist of it right now. Tell me what's going on with this. I almost went into overarching theme. This person's like, no, don't give no details. Don't pull out the Shadow Light CARTOMANCY. Yeah, it always gives it straight up, man. It leaves no doubt. That's why I love the CARTOMANCY. It's my favorite. It does give it straight up, though. Not all people appreciate that, because it does deliver truth pretty bluntly. So I try to mix it up a little bit, okay? I've become tempered over the years since I started my channel. When I first started the channel, I used to be a lot more just kind of, real direct, straight to the point, but I can admit, in a kind of like sharp way, and some people really just can't receive that direct approach. So I tried to bring in more of a delivery that people can really receive, and in some ways that I tempered myself. Okay. Woo, yeah, okay, so we got 3 of clubs here, so you should expect this character to come towards you. You'll know who this character is because you haven't heard from this person for a long time. This could be somebody who kind of weaves in and out of your life. And they always tend to come back around when things are really starting to work for you. Like, as soon as you're in a space where things are feeling good, that's when this person comes around. They're never there when the chips are down. That's a clue for you. Yeah, they're never there when you're going through tough stuff. They're never there when things are challenging. They're never there when you could use a helping hand. They leave you alone. They leave you isolated, alone. This is somebody who is a bit of a manipulator. And they do have their eyes on some kind of asset, something you're building for yourself. I do feel like this is something that you made a judgment call on. You did choose to bring this to a close. For some of you, this could be a Scorpio. You absolutely moved away from this energy with a quickness, but this energy is coming back around. It's trying to flip it up and reverse it like a game of Uno. Yeah, and really, you need to be careful because you are coming into some growth here. You are coming into growth here. Your wheel of fortune is turning as this character's fortune is on the downturn, you see? judgment. You need to make a wise judgment call in relation to this. So hold up, man, because what you've been waiting for a long time is starting to come in for you over these next 8 weeks. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. If you take the opportunity from this character here, this is going to really cut you off from some kind of stability, what you're meant to receive, all right? I think you're pretty smart. I don't think you'll be duped by this. This is somebody that maybe you used to be connected to on social media, but you blocked them. Or maybe they haven't had access to you because you're no longer on social media. You closed your social media accounts. Any other details in relation to this? This person could be an artist too. Okay, that could be a clue. Because I'm just noticing. Okay, this person could be an artist. This person could be a con artist. They could. They could be a con artist. They might be really good at working people, the way they spin their words. This could be a bit of that love talker energy that came in on the last portal report. Yeah. I think at one point, this did feel like some kind of wish fulfillment for you. But you recognize that this was a very selfish energy, okay? This person's only about personal gratification, and you don't want to move forward with this. I see it, but they're going to come back around because I see you already pulled out of this situation, okay? Cut of the deck. What do we got here? Yep, you're like, no, I'm cool. I'm going to stay on my own. I don't really see myself reviving this. This could have been somebody who likes to triangulate. This is somebody who likes to bring other people into the mix. They convolute situations in that way. I like that this is in reverse as hidden because it shows that this isn't hidden to you. You know what this person's up to. You see it quite clearly. You may know that the whole reason why they're coming around is to finish you, okay? This person may feel like in some way you bested them, okay? Don't get caught up in this because you got distant horizons ahead of you that are leading you into that expansion, all right? So don't play the fool. Overarching theme. What do I want to get? Let's get the Arcane BS, okay? Let's bring in the Arcane BS for an overarching theme. Yeah, see? They're coming in under the guise of like, yeah, it's a brand new beginning and we can go places and we can be really successful if we team our forces together. It's like, what? I'm already getting there on my own. And especially if you slide in between the sheets with this character, if this is an old lover, this person's going to drag you down to hell, man. You were wise to cleanse this. You were Aquarian energy coming in pretty strongly here with this, okay? Yeah, this character's got their eyes on something of yours, okay? This does got a little bit of that evil eye energy, so just be mindful, okay? What you get suckered into. And, you know, that card always reminds me of Saturn, too. Father Time is saying, look, you're already in the waterway, man. Trust your intuition. Everything's starting to flow. You're finally... anchor up, you know, you're heading off to a distant horizon, far away from all this fuck shit. Like, why do you want to bring this back into your sphere? You know what this is. You know what this is. You shed a lot of tears over this person. This person made you cry. This person made you cry a lot, okay? Don't forget that when they come around. Yeah, don't forget that when they come around, okay? You know what to do with this energy. You need to just go and flush that shize, man. I feel like you're really in your power right now. You're working with the chaos, okay? You learned how to navigate chaos. You learned how to use it as a transformational force. There is something that is coming in for you at this time, and it doesn't require you to like tone yourself down or be less or anything like that. That could be a clue too. This person could have said you were too much or was always trying to, you know, dumb you down or put you in your place. And where you're going, you don't need any of this. You are at the birth of something new. Whoever this character is, they are king shit, okay? king shit, but they're also full of it, you know? This person's full of a lot of BS. I feel like you already took this bull by the horns. You already gave a finger to this. This is important, right? And yeah, nothing left to do but let Mahakala take care of this situation. You got time on your side, so don't make anybody make you feel pressurized to act on this quick. You know, they may be coming forward like they're working with a lot, or they can level you up in some way. If you sign on with them or whatever this is, this could be a businessman that's actually lost a lot of money from gambling with the wrong people, okay? And yeah, they may be very creative in the way that they work people too, you know? And so there's something about that. Like, they've been studying you for a while, whoever this is. They've been strongly considering how to put this offer on the table for you, but whatever it is, it will be an injustice for you. It could get you caught up too, so be careful about business deals you do at this time. Don't do business deals with shady characters that get you caught up. As long as you trust your intuition, you're going to hit the mark with this one, all right? Overarching theme in relation to this for the collective. Overarching theme in relation to this for the collective. It all came out in reverse and all on this character here. So this, to me, feels like this is coming in as a warning. Okay, I do like the way this is coming through. Yeah. Bottom of it. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. You see, you already cut off this energy. You recognize that it was siphoning your creative power. And something here was really grabby for your energy. And now your crown is protected. You're heading toward that stone of destiny. This very well could have been somebody that you used to be intimately connected with. It does say that this is somebody that works their magic in that way, okay? That's how they get their tentacles wrapped around you. Tapped into your sacral chakra by connecting with you intimately. So be careful of this, because this person's infected with the programming of the Frodis. And just as you're moving into that world energy, completing that karmic cycle, they will loop you back down and they'll drag you down, anchor your energy. And it's just all random BS, okay? This person doesn't have the money. They don't have the opportunities. They're not here to partner with you. I think you're going to see through the act. You know, if you sign on for this, it's fishy. It doesn't lead to any productivity. It doesn't lead to any creativity. This person does work with baneful magic. If this is somebody you know that operates on that level, they absolutely do. Did they do something to you? Certainly. This is a fallen angel here, okay? So many fallen angels. This is somebody who plays it off real sweet, but they will quickly drag you down. I'm telling you. And they feel like they got some play to make here, but it's your ball and you don't want to play because you already cut off this energy. I think you've had guidance come in from your ancestors around this character, trying to protect you, trying to let you know that if you go back to this, if you align with this, this is going to weaken you for sure. And, you know, here's Saturn again saying, look, you need to see this clearly because I told you, you need to cleanse this way. And if you're stupid and you go back to this right when everything is transforming for you, instead of you hitting the mark, you're shooting yourself in your own foot and you're going to be totally effed, man. Totally effed and worse off than ever before. All right. So pay mind to this. This is a big no, whatever this is. Just remember the people that you are aligning with, you'll know. You can trust your intuition. You're going to know it feels right. There's no doubt in your mind about this, okay? Cut of the deck to cap this off. Yep. Bag up all that meaningless garbage. This person isn't here to help you out. They're not like Robin Hood stealing from the rich to give to the poor. They're not here to offer you some opportunity or some kind of level up. This is somebody who got caught slipping and is absolutely fishy and you know it ain't right. This is a scavenger energy, okay? Bottom feeder energy. And if you get sucked into this, you're going to go right back into that same Chinese finger trap that you were in before, and soon it'll be shots fired and fingers pointing one at the other. This person could also be, you know, connected to some kind of like criminal activity that you really don't want to get sucked into. You've been warned about this, so pay attention to this, all right? Don't screw up now. You're just about on the other side of this. Good things coming down the pike. It all looks very positive. You've been warned. Godspeed.